Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Carelli. There's Logan, my special guest. We're going to talk about movies tonight, specifically Creepshows 1 and 2. We watched them last night. Now, just a little background. I was never a big horror fan growing up. Those things scared the bejesus out of me. But now,
I'm real fucked up.
wow. And that's thanks to me, most likely. But I've kind of gotten into them now just because I can handle it. I'm an old man. My senses are all deadened and my nerves are shot, so it doesn't really affect me the way it would have when I was a teenager. So yeah, want to tell them about the movie and then we can maybe comment on it.
Yeah. You might be seeing some more of these kind of movie type videos because recently I've been really expanding my Blu-ray and 4K UHD collection. I have a lot of films from not a lot, but a few films from the Criterion collection, and we just got Creepshow 1 and 2, and yeah, I don't want to go too in depth on my thoughts about it because I plan on making my own little scripted video about it, kind of ranking the shorts. But I mean,
Well, about the movie itself was kind of cool. The first one came out in 1982,
mm-hmm.
and then the second one came out in '87. And in the '82 one, there were actors who became really well acclaimed that were by no means household names yet. Like Ted Danson was in one of the vignettes. There's 5 little mini movies in the first Creepshow and 3 in the second. Ed Harris was in one, and he's an eventual Oscar winner. So it was kind of fun seeing these guys before anyone knew who they were. What was your you mentioned
My
your favorite?
absolute favorite was Something to Tide You Over, the one with Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, Ted Danson has a really good performance. Leslie Nielsen has a great performance. I absolutely love the special effects, like the first special effects of them being buried in sand is I'm not entirely sure how they did that, but then later on, with the kind of zombie special effects, those kind of blood pouches and it is really scary, and it's extremely impressive.
Well, and Tom Savini did the effects, and
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, this is news to me because, like I said, I've gotten to know more stuff because of Logan's taste in movies. And Tom Savini was what, Day of the Dead or Dawn
Day of the Dead, I think Dawn of the Dead as well. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, so classics, absolute horror classics, and it's a lot of fun. Just how over the top some of these movies are, and they had, like I said, a lot of famous people. Who else do they have in some of these movies?
They're all old actors.
Well, Stephen King's in both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great. And I'm like, I know that guy. And Stephen King's a lot heavier in the 80s than he is now. Now he's pretty gaunt. But in the 80s, he wasn't fat by any means. But he had some fat on him. He wasn't skinny. And he just played a goofball in both of them. Just this hillbilly.
In the second
Hilarious.
movie, he just played a simple truck driver as more of a cameo than an actual character.
Yeah.
In the first one, he played a character called
Is it Geordie or
Jordy Verrill. Jordy Verrill.
Yeah.
And I looked it up. Apparently, that whole segment was based on a Stephen King short story.
That totally makes sense.
It's called, Death of Jordy Verrill. Sometimes the short story is called Weeds.
Nice.
But, God damn it, his performance is so good.
He was great. If you ever get to see just that, what was that short called? It was just The Meteor, or
The Death of Jordy Verrill.
Oh, The Death of Jordy Verrill. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
that's why I know his name, because I've been repeating it over and over again.
That'll do it. So this meteor crashes in the middle of nowhere. Jordy Verrill lives in this just garbage farmhouse. It's just disgusting. He comes out, and like an idiot, he wants to get big bucks for this meteor, and in his mind, big bucks is like $200. There's a funny dream sequence of I can't wait to get that money.
The dream sequences are incredible. They're always so over the top. The first one, he's talking to a meteor scientist.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
like he's saying, I'll give you $75 for it. Papa Verrill didn't raise no idiot.
Yeah, idiot. Yeah. It's great, and he just looks so goofy the whole time. And Stephen King, I know no one, I don't think anyone would consider Stephen King a looker, but he has like back then he had jet black hair and really big blue eyes, and he kind of got these buck teeth, and he was just I was like, and I kept saying the whole vignette. I'm just like, I know that guy. Was he on Hee Haw?
He did it like a
figure out who
classic,
the hell
like
he
kind
was.
of like a Three Stooges comic, like classic actor. Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah, he
that
was
it
really
Stephen
good.
King.
And it probably, like we were talking about this, probably goes to show that Stephen King was probably quite possibly a theater kid, maybe dabbled in acting, and then just said, hey, I'm good at writing, and that's what I'm going to do. And obviously has done very well.
Yeah, and I honestly, that short, I like the idea of it, but that short is like, yeah, it's probably like my least favorite of the original Creepshow shorts, even though it's still really good.
Yeah.
But God, King's performance absolutely carries that segment.
Yeah, that was great.
I love, like, what's it called? Like, he cracks open a meteor and goo comes out and he goes, meteor shit.
Yeah, that's right. he burns his fingers on, and then he puts his fingers in his mouth, and the rest of the little vignette is just him trying to fight off becoming a plant, and that's what happens. This alien meteor thing has turned his entire farm into just this field of grass, and he starts becoming grass. It's pretty funny. Back to the Leslie Nielsen one. Leslie Nielsen is wonderfully diabolical
He's such a motherfucker in that one.
He's Ted Danson has cheated with Leslie Nielsen's wife, and Leslie Nielsen has buried both of them up to their heads at low tide on the beach, and then high tide's going to come back and drown them. And I don't want to tell you the rest in case you do see it, but it was really, really good.
It is like,
and
God.
to answer your question, I think how they do those scenes when the person's buried in, up to their neck in sand, I think they have like a big box and they dig it out, and then I think they use carpeting or some sort of firm something to put it around there, because you can see if he moves his head a little bit, there's like a shift that wouldn't be you would barely move the sand, and there's just more than there should be, but it's done really well, and they've done it, I think, that way for a long time. We got a couple more minutes. What else you want to talk about? 1 and then maybe 2 in the next episode?
Yeah,
because 2 was hilarious in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What else? So we got in 1, we've got the Stephen King one, we've got the Ted Danson one. What else do we?
We've got Father's Day.
Oh yeah, that's the opening one.
Like,
yeah.
it's
so
it's the style of humor is like a Kids in the Hall sketch where it's about like a woman who kills her abusive father after he keeps asking for cake on Father's Day.
Yeah.
And
right.
like just the flashback with him and his cane. He goes, "I want my cake."
Yeah.
You bitch.
Yeah.
You never
talking about
gave
to
me
his
my
daughter.
cake.
He's horrible.
It's
On
insane.
Father's Day, or that, and yeah, and she ends up she killed him, right? I forgot what she
Ashtray to the head.
That's right, the big thick marble ashtray to the head, and Ed Harris is in that one. And then what other ones? We had 2 more that I can't think of.
We had the crate, and we had the bug one, which I learned the title of it was like something somewhat generic, like they're coming to get you, or they're coming
I thought it had creeps in the title. Or am I thinking of the bug one? Are you thinking of the bug one, the roach one, or the
I'm
other
thinking
bug
of the roach one.
Wasn't that in Creepshow 2?
That was in Creepshow 1.
Oh, that wasn't the first one. No, that's E.G. Marshall. Like I was telling Logan when we were watching, this guy was like a classic actor back in the 40s and 50s. And he's just hilarious. He's like this clean freak, kind of a scientist type, but he also owns like all this stuff. And he's just horribly mean to people. And it's funny seeing E.G. Marshall just drop F-bombs all over this little movie.
I love, like, I think the funniest line in that one is like when he gets a call from like he's also like a little bit of like a mob boss. Like,
yeah,
it's implied that
it's
like
definitely shady.
He absolutely has killed people, and like someone calls and he says, who is this? And she goes, I'm the husband of the man you killed. What's her last name?
Or the wife of the man you killed.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's like Katzenjammer, I think.
Yeah,
I think
and
it was
he
an
just,
old Katzenjammer
I'm
kids reference.
the wife of the man you killed last night. Mrs. Katzenjammer, how the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Or something.
Classic E.G. Marshall, right?
It's so good.
It's really so out of his realm. It's great. We're out over 10 minutes, so we'll do a part 2 on this one. We'll talk about the second movie. But those were some highlights from Creepshow 1.
Also, the crate is pretty good as well.
Yeah,
it's not amazing. It's not super creative, but it's paced very well.
Yeah, and Hal Holbrook's in that one, so that's some good stuff.
Interesting characters as well in that
definitely a little devious.
Very
stuff
much
going
like
on.
classic horror.
Oh, and Adrienne Barbeau's in that one too, so that's
like
a fun one.
The Thing type setup. I'm gonna stop. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to stop talking, and this looks like a spider coming to turn off the phone.
Spooky, creepy.
Ooh, candlelight and
Skeletons
spiders.
send shivers up your spine.
Yeah. Bye.